right muscle contract, and you can rotate to turn the right side. You bilateral contraction. Both side of the muscles participates in extension of the head and the neck at the cervical part of the vertebral column. You can bend the neck down and back. Bilateral contraction. Next group. The deep muscles. Next muscles of the deep group lies along the vertebral column. More superficially, you can see the erector spine, the erector muscles of the spine, of the trunk. This muscle is subdivided into three vertical trunks. The more laterally, you can see the iliocostal muscle. It starts from the iliac crest and is attached to the ribs. Iliocostal. The central part, is attached to the transverse process and is called the longissimus. And medial part is attached to the spinous process and it's called the spinous muscle. Musculus erector spinae participates in the extension of our body at the cervical and the lumbar parts of the vertebral column, participates in rotation to right and left side, and vertical position of our body. It is antagonist of the anterior abdominal muscles. You can go vertically. And next deep muscle is located along between spinous and transverse process of the vertebral column, and this muscle is called transversus spinous muscle because is attached to the transverse process and spinous, between transverse and spinous. This muscle has got three layers. Superficial layer has got very long bundles, muscular bundles, and this muscle is called the longissimus. Semispinalis muscle. The second more deep layer, multifidi, more shorter, and the deeper layer and short layer is called the rotatoris. This muscle is located between spinous and transverse process. The main action, the rotation to right and left side, the vertebral column, at the cervical and lumbar parts. Rudimentary muscle, levator castarum participates in the elevation of the ribs, and interspinous between spinous processes, intertransverse between transverse processes. But this group of the muscles is rudimentary, the short and thin muscles. Upper part, transverse spinous muscle, at the level of the first and second cervical vertebra, form the suboccipital group. This group is represented by four muscles, includes four muscles. First one is the minor posterior rectus muscle, between spinous process of the first atlas and occipital bone. The second, more laterally, you can see the major posterior rectus muscle between spinous process of the axis and occipital bone. And two oblique muscle, the inferior oblique capitis muscle and
Superior
oblique capitis muscle. Between spinous process of the axis and transverse process of the atlas, between atlas and occipital bone. This muscle participates in the movement at the Atlanta occipital and Atlanta axial joints. You can turn the head and lateral flexion of the head and anterior and posterior flexion and extension of the head. At the two joints. Так, that's all information about muscles of the back. Muscles of the chest. Muscles of the chest are subdivided into two groups.